So, in order to stop overthinking, you need to be aware of how you overthink and what are the impacts of overthinking itself. Okay. So, let's say your average speed of productivity is 100, right? Now, here's what happens when your brain is overthinking something, it releases this chemical called cortisol. Okay. What cortisol does to your brain is it slows it down. And when it slows it down, your average rate of productivity goes down from 100 to possibly 50, depending on how stressed you are because of overthinking something. Now, in my experience, there are three things that we generally overthink: the past, a person, or the future. Now, to explain this to you, the past is generally something that happened in the past that you end up overthinking all the time. Either you're guilty, or you regret something you did, or you regret something you didn't do. There's something in the past that constantly keeps running in your brain. When it comes to people, it's generally someone who scares you, or it's someone who you love but doesn't love you back. It's someone who loves you and you don't love them back. It's generally a person that affects you emotionally, and it ends up stressing you out. Either it's a girlfriend, boyfriend, parent, relative, friend, a boss. So, okay. And the third thing, which is the future. Questions like, when will I succeed? When will good things happen for me? When will I achieve this? How many marks will I get? Will I get a promotion? Will I get an appraisal? That's what generally stresses us out. And all these three create cortisol in our brain. That is the chemical that slows us down. So, if now that you know that there are generally these three things, right, that cause that stress and overthinking. Now, what I've not told you all about yet is this other chemical called dopamine. Dopamine is another chemical that is released in your brain, and when it is released in your brain, it actually increases your energy, increases your focus levels, and makes you faster. So, if your average productivity speed is 100, it might go up if there's high dopamine levels in your brain. So, how do we do this? Let's go step by step. If the past is something that is constantly bothering you and it's something you're overthinking, try and listen to certain music that actually reminds you of a moment or a phase from your past which is really, really positive and good. So, music actually releases dopamine in your brain, that chemical that makes you high focus, high energy. And if you listen to music that you used to listen to when you were in a good phase of your life, it will actually increase the possibility of dopamine release in your brain. So, try that out if the past is something that constantly you overthink. Now, if it is a person that you're constantly overthinking, I have a simple response to you. Every time you start stressing about a person, think of a person who you haven't spoken to for a while but used to actually have a very positive vibe around you. Either message them, call them, or meet them. That immediately increases dopamine levels in your brain, and you stop thinking about the person that has a negative influence on your life. And the third one, which is your future. Now, here's the thing: what happens with future, and when you start thinking about what will happen with your future, the fact that you don't know what is going to happen is what stresses you out. So, one of the techniques I use is I start planning. If I start creating a plan on the paper, I automatically stop overthinking about what will happen, because now I actually know what's going to happen. So I create a weekly plan, monthly plan, and a year plan. And that actually makes me laser focused, and I stop overthinking about the future immediately, because I actually don't have to think about what might happen, whether I'll get an appraisal, whether or how many marks I'll get, because right now my brain is focused on planning the future rather than thinking about what will happen in the future. If you define what happens in the future, you don't need to constantly question it. It doesn't become a thing of chance. It is your reality that you create. So try these techniques out. I hope they work for you. If they do work for you, please let me know in the comments and share this with your friends. I hope you like this video. If you like videos like this, please subscribe and hit the bell icon. I'll see you again. Go out there, be nice, make this a great day, and keep hustling. Bye bye.